how you've played these last 6 games,
Right.
um, and coinciding with this win streak.
Yeah, I do feel like things have been going good during the win streak. I feel like I am settling in. I know what coach wants from us now. Um, and I feel like it was just getting comfortable and me and the guys have built a win streak and we're playing some really good basketball right now. And I feel like we're just, we're not thinking as much. We're just going out there. We know what coach expects from us. It's just a fun type of basketball that we're playing right now, and it makes it easy. We're not thinking, we're just playing.
How much has it helped you with the lineup change with Dylan starting? He's obviously played really well, and we know what he can do. Has that helped you? You think?
I think so. I feel like Dylan is a great player. The intensity that he plays with, his ability to play make for the guys, and I feel like we feed off of each other good. I feel like his versatility helps us out. I feel like I can spread the court and he can get downhill, and just little things like that. I feel like we do play well off of each other.
Bryce, of these last two games, with a 15 and a 16-point comeback, have they proved anything to you? I mean, you guys have won a lot of games early in the season, but like you haven't won in that fashion yet and doing it in back-to-back games.
Yeah, I feel like it just shows that we're resilient. We don't panic when we're down. We've been in some tough environments. And I feel like going back to our non-con, we, took some of those tougher losses. I do feel like that, being on the road in those tough environments and, having to rally and, rely on each other and just come together as a unit. I feel like it did help us in our non-conference games that we, some of the tougher losses that we did take. And I feel like, we didn't panic when we were down and we just all came together and rallied together.
Bryce, do you believe that there's a quality that some basketball?
I do feel like some people do have a clutch gene about them, yes.
Now, you in your play, you seem to be very, very strong as a second half player. Is that the clutch in you coming out?
I think I do have a little bit of clutch in myself, but I don't look at it like that. I just try to, stay calm in those times when we may be down by a large margin or whatever the case may be. I just try to, rely on my work. Me and the guys put in a ton of work in practice. Our individuals, strength and conditioning and stuff like that. We just put in so much work, and you know, to be nervous in those situations, it's not. You can't think like that. So you just have to rely on your work, and the rest is going to handle itself.
Would you
Bryce,
say, would you say that like when there's a sense of urgency in a game that you want to make a like you're one of the guys who wants to make a play?
For sure. I think I've been playing basketball for a while in the college level, and I feel like I know when to be aggressive and when to look for opportunities to attack the defense and get a good shot. So yes.
Bryce,
Bryce, why
going
do you
back to your
think your
previous
second
answer,
halves? Go ahead, Kevin.
going back to your previous answer, like you said, everybody's comfortable and you guys know what Coach Pitino wants from you. I mean, has that translated in the overall team's defense? Because it feels like in this 6 game winning streak, that's the area where you guys have improved the most is defense and shutting teams down.
Yeah, coach actually thinks we need to be better on defense. He actually sent us a long text this morning, and he was talking to us about that yesterday. My 3-point percentage that we're allowing other teams is not where it needs to be, and there's some areas that we need to clean up on that side of the ball. But I do feel like in the second half we do find a way to get stops when we need them. And I feel like that goes back to, all the stuff that we did in the summer and all the work that we put in, just building off those principles that Coach Pitino has for us.
How early is he texting you guys these messages?
It was pretty early. I think it was around 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bryce, the Providence game, obviously it was a disappointing one for everyone.
Yeah.
For you personally, did that? I mean, is there any connection between that game where you obviously weren't at your best and how you've played since?
100%. That game didn't sit right with me at all. And I feel like after that game, a switch definitely turned. And from there, I just tried to, not think as much, go out there and play free, and just rely on my work. I work too hard, and me and the guys work too hard. So yeah.
What was it about it that didn't sit well with you?
Um, just a lot. Just there was a lot of emotions going into that game. a lot of whatever the fans were talking about and stuff like that, losing at home, didn't sit right with me and the guys at all.
Bryce, you see you see your teammates. We see them in games, but you see your teammates throughout practice. It seems like Dylan Darling has improved his game or taken it to a different level where he is sort of delivering a lot for you guys lately. Like, can you describe what you have seen about the improvement in his game and what he's been like at practice?
100%. I feel like since the summer I've seen and I was able to see like Dylan coming in. I didn't know too much about him, but when we first got to practice and stuff like that with each other, I definitely seen his abilities to get downhill, his playmaking for other guys, and then being able to score the ball himself. So I always seen it, and I feel like it was just a matter of time when he was going to get comfortable and start doing the things that we know he can do. I mean, he shows every day in practice, and he's going to be big for us coming down on the second half of the season for sure.
Bryce, you're roommates with Zubie, correct?
Yes, on the road, yes.
How much has Zubie helped you? This year, you see how hard he plays and how much he wants it. Like, how much has he kind of impacted you playing with him and getting to know him?
For sure, he's helped me a lot. Just being in the room with him and picking his brain, stuff like that. He knows exactly what coach wants. Being with him for 3 years, so you know what coach was telling us and the guys was, I forgot. I think it was before the,
Beating
um,
Hall.
yeah, Seton Hall game. He was like, "What do you admire most about Zubie?" And all the guys were saying like how hard he plays and how he doesn't take a possession off and stuff like that. And I feel like that's the standard that coach holds Zubie to, and he holds all of us to that. And he wants us to definitely get to that level. And I feel like as the season continues to go on, we're gonna get to that level for sure.
Bryce,
Do you
you were kind of just talking about it after the Providence game that like the vibes I guess were a little bit down and a little bit low. You guys were 9-5 at the time, and
Yeah,
do you feel like the sense and the hype and the excitement around this team is kind of back to what it was early in the season?
I do for sure. We're playing some really good basketball right now, and we just got to take it a day at a time. I feel like me and the guys are coming together at the right time, and we're all gelling. We know our roles on the team, and we like to just keep on building and keep building off of this and keep it rolling.
One more for Bryce. Anybody?
I was going to ask, like in the locker room when you guys are hanging, who's the guy who keeps everybody loose?
I would say Zubie. Zubie in the timeouts, at halftime. When we're in the locker room, he's always talking to us, and he's definitely that vocal leader that we need. He's just always telling us what we need to do, what the game plan is, and stuff like that. And we all follow Zubie's lead for sure.
How are you, Rick?
Good guys, how you doing?
Good. Congrats on the other day.
Thank you.
Did you see the video the school put out with all the people congratulating you?
I did not.
Well, the highlight to me was Walter Clayton was one of the players who congratulated you,
Yeah.
and in his congratulations he said, "I remember when we won 800 and you were telling him how he needed to lose weight after you won 800."
Yeah, no, I did see that. I thought you meant what St. John's put out.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. Rick, the 6 game win streak you guys are on. Is there one thing that's really stood out to you that you guys have done well that's led to this run here?
No, actually, every game has been totally different. There's no common denominator. Um, and I think the reason being is there's the difference in the style of play between Seton Hall and Xavier is night and day. It's like polar opposites. It's one team that gets it over half court in 3 seconds. The other team is a half court grinded defensive team. So it's all different styles of play, and that dictates how you're going to play.
Rick, earlier in the season, you talked a lot about the team not adhering to scouting reports, especially on the defensive side. And over this 6 game winning streak, we really haven't heard you say that. Has there been a different buy-in, whether it's from a mental aspect or even physical, from this team defensively to really help you guys get on this 6 game win streak?
It's still the same guys are struggling with scouting. Ian and Josan, they struggle the most with scouting. They're getting better, but it's baby steps. Um, but they certainly are improving. But that's if you said give me a weakness, it's their understanding scouting more than anything else. But they are we're trying to get them better and better with that.
Rick,
Rick, when you look at this 6 game win streak, Bryce, it feels like to at least to me, Bryce has really turned it up. He's averaging over 15 a game. His rebounding is up. He's your leader in plus minus. And his second half's been really good. What have you liked about Bryce of late? And do you feel like he has turned it up in these 6 games?
I think he's been in crunch time. He's wanted the ball. He's taken it to the rim. He's been very strong with our comebacks. Him, Dylan Mitchell, Dylan Darling, all three guys have been very strong in crunch time.
Do you feel like he's kind of bringing that effort more consistently, which is something you've wanted?
Yeah, I think he always gives good effort. I think he makes some silly fouls early on that gets him into trouble, and he in the second half he's not as concerned with that.
Rick, the thing about him being so strong in crunch time, like, do you think that that's a tangible quality that some players have?
Raj, you like the hat, buddy. You see, is that your school?
No, that's not my school. I was at UC Irvine and I like the anteater logo,
Okay.
so
Um, I think right now for us to take the next step, the only big flaw I see is our 3-point defense. It's way too high. I was looking the other night, for instance, at Iona. Um, our 3-point percentage is 30.2, 30.2, and 29.7. And right now we're close to 38. So that's an area. Sometimes when you shut the gaps down and you're a better defensive rebounding team, you give up more threes. So we've got to get that back down. And that's going to be a point of emphasis because Bijak is on a tear right now. He's averaging 26 points a game. He's shooting like 98% from the line. He's on a big tear, and we've got to limit the 3-point attempts of this team. This team's hot right now. We've got to really pay attention at the defensive end.
Rick,
if you
the
if you
three
don't mind
point
my
defense. Go ahead, Raj.
if you don't mind my circling back to the previous question, the thing about being good in crunch time with Hopkins, like, is that a trait that some players have?
I think it's too small right now. Too small number of games to really judge that. Let's see if it continues. I think the sampling is way too small right now, but I do think he is playing better basketball.
Rick,
Rick,
over the last couple of games, Oziah has only gotten 5 shots up. It feels like when the first couple don't go in for him, he's not as aggressive hunting his shot. Is there something that, like, I know you said you want him to just shoot because he's such a great shooter. Is there something you can do to him to kind of get him to hunt his shot, even if the first couple don't go in?
Oziah needs to rub next to Josan because Josan's never met a shot he didn't like. And Oziah passed up about 5 open jumpers in the last game. That's just his personality. I've done everything but plead with him to take open shots, and he's just not getting it done.
Do guys need to look for him more, Rick?
No, he has open shots. He's not taking them.
Do you think that's like a confidence thing? Because it does seem like when he
No,
misses
no,
one
he's a
early,
very confident guy. He doesn't recognize daylight. It's a quick. You come off a screen and you got to recognize daylight from where the defense is trailing you, and
right.
he's doing that.
The Rick, the 3-point defense. What you mentioned, like the gaps and stuff. Do you is there is this something like you're really hammering home? Like we have to get better in this area.
Yeah, well, against Xavier, you're guarding a team that shoots it when they
Right.
cross half court, and then you're playing Creighton as well. So it's sometimes it's the teams you play, but 38% is way too high. We got to get that down.
Rick, you seem to be quite taken with the play of Darling lately. Can you sort of describe the way that the arc of his season and development have gone?
You're not, Roger?
I never said that I wasn't.
Oh, well, let's look at it this way. In league play, he's shooting 55% from two, 56.5 from three. He's averaging 17 assists, 8 turnovers, and 8 steals. So it's quite remarkable
Yes.
coming off the bench.
How did you get him to be that guy?
He's got great moxie. He comes off the bench. He has no fear of failure. Um, no fear. He's the opposite of Sellers a little bit. He wants the shot and he wants to go to the rim and he wants to make the big defensive play.
Yeah, I know that you tinkered with his three-point shot and that's led to a great deal of success there. Um, you know, I think early in the season, there were some moments when I think maybe reasonably it looked like would he be up to playing at the St. John's level after having been at Idaho State? Why do you think he is performing well at the St. John's level now?
I think it takes time to get adjusted to bigger players, faster players. It takes a little time, and he's adjusted very well. He's actually along the lines, Roger. He's dominated practice, which is something that you like to see. So he's playing extremely well right now. I've got certainly great confidence in him. Um, it's a good thing coming off the bench because we got to finish with him at the point. That doesn't mean that Ian can't play the two because Ian's very confident shooter. So Ian is somebody we can play at both positions.
Are you thinking about pairing them in a backcourt?
Well, they played a little bit the other night
Mhm.
together. Um, but I'm just saying that when Ian just does the right things defensively, um, if he gets to that point, I have no trepidation at all playing them together.
Rick, the first time you played Butler, you didn't really play Dylan much. Um, and I think you used Mitchell on Bizjack in that second half a lot. I mean, do you envision, not to give away your game plan, but like, do you think is Butler a team you need to stay away from Darling or not necessarily?
Well, he's playing so well right now. No, I don't think that's the case, but we went with size in that game because they rebound the ball so well at that time. Now they're on a 3-game win streak, certainly. It is a matchup situation we got to look at, but certainly if the game is on the line, Dylan's going to be in the game.
The
Rick, Left Terrace had obviously a real good game in Indianapolis. Um, is he not practicing well, and that's why his minutes are down a little?
He just gets beat too much defensively, Roger. He offensively, he's probably as good, if not better, than most of the guys on the team. Um, Driving the ball as well as shooting the ball, but defensively, he's just not coming around to where he could stop people, and that's the thing we'll continue to work on. He knows it. He's a great kid. He has to get better at it.